What's good, people? I'd like to welcome you to Real Talk with your boy Shades right here on Shades Entertainment. Today's video is gonna be highlighting 2020 as a whole. Now, we all know in 2020 we had a lot of highs and we had a lot of lows. A lot of highs and a lot of lows for everybody across the globe. It's been a year in my life that has been like none other. Realistically, I've never experienced a year like this in my life. So in this video today, we are going to be discussing some of the highs and some of the lows of 2020. If you would like to give feedback on any of these topics that we're discussing today, please do so. Leave your comments in the comment section below, and I will try and respond to as many comments as I can. If you'd like if you would like something to be added to the discussion for future shows, also leave it in the comment section and I will pick it up and try my utmost to make sure that we feature it right here on Real Talk in the upcoming shows. Welcome to the first show. 2021 is here. Let's review 2020. Welcome to the first episode of Real Talk with your boy Shades. First and foremost, I gotta say Happy New Year. Yeah, Happy New Year going out to everybody who's watching this video. Shouts going out to everybody who's taking time out to watch this video. May you have a prosperous and blessed 2021. We all know that 2020 has been a crazy year for me, for yourself, probably for the world as a whole. And in today's video, we're just gonna take a look back at some of the key moments from 2020 and just discuss, have a little banter, have a little bit of chat and highlight some of the issues that went down within 2020. 2020, man, like, where can I start? Realistically, for me, when I knew 2020 was going to be a bad year, it happened on the 26th of January 2020. We lost Kobe Bryant. Like, Kobe was a legend in himself. Kobe was a legend within himself. He played for the LA Lakers. He was a standout player for the LA Lakers. Hall of Famer, most definitely a Hall of Famer. I could touch on his career highlights, but Kobe was like, realistically, when you look at Kobe, like, Kobe was like the next best thing to Jordan. When you really look at the sports world and what Kobe did for basketball and what he did outside of basketball. He did a lot of stuff outside of basketball that people don't even really know about. But Kobe Bryant, his daughter, Brianna, I believe her name was, and 3 others died. Another child, I believe, from Kobe's daughter's friend's family and their parents, was it? Or one of their parents. And it was just like, as 2020 started, to lose somebody like Kobe Bryant in that way, in a helicopter crash, it was tragic. It was definitely a tragic moment for me in 2020. And it kind of started the year off on a sour note, if I'm going to be honest with you. It was like, you know, after January, after Christmas, you kind of wait for January to finish for the year to begin. And then straight away, we've lost Kobe Bryant. Like, wow, we lost Kobe Bryant. And in January as well, at that same time when we lost Kobe, the outbreak of coronavirus started. So it started in January, but it never really take its toll on the UK until around March. That's when we started to feel the effects of coronavirus. But RIP to Kobe Bryant, first and foremost. Gotta say RIP to Kobe Bryant. Legend within the basketball, realm, legend within the world just for being Kobe himself. So RIP to Kobe Bryant. We've also got to say RIP to Chadwick Boseman as well. Like, we lost the Black Panther last year as well. Like we lost Kobe, we lost the Black Panther. Like, we've lost, the list is endless to the amount of individuals who we've lost in 2020, but I'm only highlighting 2 people, because if I was to go through the whole list, I could be here for the whole show. But 2 people that really stood out for me that we lost was Kobe Bryant and Chadwick Boseman. Now, Chadwick Boseman, for me, why he was so, like, there's many other actors who we've lost this year, many other celebrities that we've lost this year, but why he was so iconic for me when we lost him is because, like, he's the Black Panther. Like, the first black superhero. Now, to many people that might not mean a lot, but to a black individual like myself, when you see yourself depicted as a superhero, and it's the first time in my 30-odd year life, like, that is a big moment, like, for me, for the world, for the rest of the people who feel and felt the Black Panther. That's why it was a Billboard seller. So Chadwick Boseman, he suffered with cancer in silence, shot movies while he had this disease. He had this disease for a long period. He was shooting movies while he had this disease. He kept it on a low key. People criticized him when they seen him out looking frail, doing shopping, etc. People criticized him, but they didn't know that he had cancer until he passed. And it was something that he kept close to himself. He didn't want it out there like that, and he suffered in silence. So yeah, we got to say RIP to Chadwick Boseman as well, first and foremost, because he was an iconic moment within my life, within the film industry as well, I believe, and within a lot of other black individuals growing up wanting to see yourself depicted as a superhero. So RIP to Chadwick Boseman as well. I thought that it was only fitting that we started the show and paid a little bit of homage to these two celebrities, because for me they're iconic. I hope for you they're iconic, and as I said, the list is endless to the amount of celebrities, the amount of entrepreneurs, the amount of revolutionists who we lost within 2020. So hopefully we will pay homage to them some way right here on the platform, but today I just had to take time out to pay homage to Chadwick Boseman, RIP, and Kobe Bryant, RIP. Okay, so the next topic we're going to discuss has got to be the talking point for 2020. Now, this topic right here, where do we start? Like, wow, 2020 coronavirus. Nobody ever expected this. Nobody ever expected a year like 2020. It started off in January. That's when we started to hear reports of coronavirus. In January, it broke out in Wuhan. It was a deadly virus. It was taking a lot of lives, and it was spreading rapidly. It then started to spread as it's gone along. It got to Italy, and in about February times, it was running rife in Italy. Italy was locked all its borders. Everyone was on total lockdown. It started to then spread throughout Europe, and then it come to March 2020, and then the UK. That's when it kind of hit home in the UK to say, like, coronavirus is here. We experienced the first of 3 lockdowns so far, and it happened, I believe it was about mid-March, ending of March, April, around them times that the lockdown kicked in. And we was on lockdown for a good while. I can't even remember, like 4 weeks, 6 weeks, something like. I think it was even longer than that. We was working from home. Everybody had to work from home. It's about two to 3 months. It felt like, anyway. It felt like we was on lockdown for at least 2 to 3 months. All flights were stopped. The UK, the country stopped moving. A lot of people have been affected by this coronavirus as well. So when I say a lot of people have been affected by it, a lot of people have lost jobs. A lot of people are suffering with mental health. A lot of people are getting treatment that they require from the hospital, so it's affecting their health more. It's impacted so many people in so many ways. It's like, it's insane. And it's like it's getting worse. It's like it's getting worse. That's what the media and everybody is telling us, is that the coronavirus is getting worse. I'm personally, I'm not saying that there's not a virus out there. Do I believe it's a killer virus? Personally, not. I believe I've probably even had coronavirus myself, because at some point throughout this year I had just a little tinge. I don't really have colds and stuff like that, but I had a little, little wheezy chest and a little sore throat, and I did kind of lose my senses, but that was kind of it for me. I haven't really experienced it to say that I've been a coronavirus. I wouldn't get myself tested personally, so I wouldn't know if I've contracted or if I've got the virus. And personally, it's affected me in so many ways, but it's also benefited me in so many ways. Like, today I'm here at Shades Entertainment. Like, Shades Entertainment was built because of coronavirus. Obviously, I was working. I was a manager at a company, and I was on furlough for a little while. But due to being on a fixed term contract, you know, the politics of the business, corporate world, etc., etc. You're the first to go, obviously. So you're the first to go. Jump back on my own little thing. Also said, you know what? Let's create something. Having sat down within lockdown for about 6 weeks, I was just messing about, learning stuff on Photoshop, learning stuff on YouTube, and then I stumbled across a video that inspired me to make this platform here today. So coronavirus benefited me in that way, but it's also affected a lot of people. We've lost an abundance of people, so I'd like to say RIP to each and everybody who has lost somebody out there. I'd like to say RIP to all your family members who we've lost this year because of coronavirus. And when I say because of coronavirus, I don't necessarily mean coronavirus has killed them. I mean, like, all right, and for instance, you could be a cancer sufferer. Yeah, if you go into lockdown and you're a cancer sufferer and you have to go to chemo, and you don't get your chemo for 2 months, 3 months, because you can't, because the hospitals are closed. You have to wait 4 months till this virus so-called eases up and lockdowns ease and you can get out there and get this virus. What do you think all those missed months of not having chemo has done to you? It's going to have made you kind of relapse and make the cancer grow, and it's going to make your health go down a little bit. So this is how I believe a lot of people have died. I don't believe it's because of the virus. I believe it's because they haven't been able to get treated for stuff earlier that they've already got issues with, and now it's being labeled as coronavirus. But that's my personal view on it. Obviously, I'm not trying to influence or tell anybody not to, because I wear my masks. I follow the guidelines. I do what they say. Whether I believe it or not, I still follow the guidelines, because if it is out there, I'm not trying to catch it regardless. You know what I'm trying to say? So where I do go out in certain places, I will wear a mask. Certain places I won't wear a mask because I just don't feel it's necessary. But when I'm doing certain things, I will wear a mask. So coronavirus has affected us crazy this year. I think it's only right that we discuss coronavirus, like people's mental health. Like, people on lockdown, locked in their house and suffering with mental health, can't go nowhere. They only can go out for exercise. And even when you go out for exercise, sometimes you're being harassed. What are you doing? Where are you going? Like, it hasn't been a good year for people with mental health. The elderly, think of the amount of elderly people who depend on people like myself, people like yourself, nieces, nephews, to come and visit them and give them that little joy of, you know, talking to your loved ones for half an hour, whether it may be a week. Like, you haven't had that all year. Like, these are all people who are affected. So personally, I'm just doing this little coronavirus speech just to say to everybody, in this time, first and foremost, sorry for anybody who's lost anybody within this period. But if you haven't and you've got family out there, I know Zoom and everything's taking over, but we have to utilize these things right now to keep a sane mind, to keep checking in on individuals, to make sure everybody out there is doing good. So link up with your family members, call your friends, text them, WhatsApp them. It only takes 2 minutes. We're stuck. We got plenty of time on our hands. Nobody can now say that they don't have time because they're too busy. They're doing this. You're on lockdown. You can't go nowhere. Nowhere. You can't go nowhere. So for that reason in itself, holler at your people and holler at them and just check in and make sure that they're all right. Coronavirus, they say they've got a vaccination now. A vaccination. Now, my first instance when I heard that there was a vaccination is, hold on, like, coronavirus come out in January. We're in December, within a year, and we've got a vaccine. Like how does that even work? Like, I've grown up watching World Aid, Podsy, raising money for cancer. I've seen cancer research. The amount of cancer charities out there that have been raising money for cancer for decades. Not just a year, decades. And we're no closer to a cure for cancer. Like, for me personally, like, I ain't taking no vaccination. I ain't taking no vaccination, and I say that with my hand on my heart. I ain't taking no vaccination. The only way, and I'll be honest with you, only way they're gonna get me to take a vaccination personally is if I want to get on a plane to get out of this place. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So if I get on that plane, if I have to take this vaccination, I'm not coming back. I know that. You get me? If I have to take a vaccination to go on a plane, might have to take it then, because I know I will eventually want to come out of the country. You know what I'm trying to say? I don't want to be caught up in what's becoming the norm in certain instances. So personally, I'm not taking no vaccination. I'll take my chance with my natural juices, my teas, my bush, my good food, my Ito food. I'll take my chances with that. And if it does reach me, then it's just one of them things. The only thing that's guaranteed to us in life is death. So, and the vaccination thing now, I'm a bit skeptical on it. I'm not saying don't take it. I'm just saying, yo, you do what's right for you, yeah? And like I said, cancer, decades, millions, over decades, but we can't find a cure. But within 12 months, you can find a cure for this so-called disease that's coronavirus. And they say that the death toll has risen. Yeah, I'm gonna pull up the stat right now. The stat right now. They say that the death toll's risen this year. The coronavirus has killed so many people this year. It's a record-breaking year for deaths. And a lot of people are not taking it serious and blah blah blah. Now I've just typed something into Google, yeah? Now you can type this into Google yourself. Like, I've just typed it into Google in my phone. I haven't done no trickery. It's in my phone. All I typed in is death toll in UK this year. What's the bulletin? The number of deaths registered in England and Wales in the week ending 18th of December 2020, week 51, was 13,011. This was 719 more deaths than in week 50. In week 51, the number of deaths registered was 12.7% above the 5-year average, 1,463 deaths higher. Yeah, so 719 more deaths than in previous years. But ain't this a pandemic? Is this not a pandemic? Have we not been seeing on the TV that we're losing 60,000, 70,000 people, and the death toll's still rising? How is there only been 719 more deaths this year than at this stage last year within a pandemic? Like, it's up to you. You believe what you want to believe. That's all I can say. You believe what you want to believe, but you do your research, you look into it, and you make up your own mind. So coronavirus has had a crazy impact on us, and I thought it's only right that we discuss coronavirus within this topic, because it is 2020. 2020, like, high schools didn't get to graduate, GCSEs got messed up, kids had to leave school without proms, like, the amount of things that happened in 2020, like, I can't even remember half of the stuff that happened. It is a monumentous year, 2020, and it was all due to coronavirus and what's happening with coronavirus. So it was only right that we discussed it in this video. So make up your own mind, you do your research, and you take what you need to take from this video and, you know, make it your own. So coronavirus 2020, let's hope for 2021 we can move on and get out of this coronavirus lifestyle that we're currently living. Okay, so the final thing on a serious note that we need to discuss that happened in 2020. This was probably one of the craziest things that I've ever witnessed within my life. It's probably the craziest thing that a lot of people probably witnessed within their life. George Floyd, an American black male, was killed in America for supposedly using a $20 bill in a store. So he's gone in the store, supposedly it was a fake $20 bill. Police have come and have arrested him. They've then taken him outside. They said that he was being aggressive towards them. the be all and end all of it is they had George on the floor over 5, 10, 15 minutes. I can't even remember how long it was. Like, I remember watching this video, and like, the video, I'm not gonna lie, the video made me cry. It made me cry because growing up seeing racism, like, it's a daily thing for me, but to see racism in such a way, for me personally, like, I've never seen racism like that in my life. How can a male, regardless of what he's done, he's not posing a threat because he doesn't have a gun, a knife, anything like that, be put on the floor? 3 officers of the law, you know, 3 officers of the law are over this man. One of them kneels on this man's neck for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, until George is on the floor. He doesn't even know where he is. He's calling for his mum. Like, he loses conscience. He's trying to wriggle. And like, the sad thing about it, and this is what 2020, it looks like this is the lifestyle that we're living in. Like, the sad thing about that video, it's not the man kneeling on his neck as such for me, because obviously we know that they used to hang us, they used to do all of that, nooses, KKK, we know all about that. We've been killed in brutaler ways, and I'm not taking anything away from the way George Floyd was killed. It's the fact that we will have individuals who will stand and watch this happen. Now, obviously, if they didn't record it, we wouldn't have the footage to be able to see, and it wouldn't be such a highlighted issue on all of the TV and etc, etc, if it wasn't recorded. But surely, as a human being, like, you're not gonna see somebody on the floor who can't breathe in a predicament that, like, it's life-threatening predicament. You can see that this person is dying, and you're standing there recording it. Now, me personally, like, I would have been the guy to have died that day as well. If I was that person holding the phone, and this is why God probably doesn't put me in certain positions. Now, I'm not saying I'm some hero or some superhero, but there's no way that as a human being, I can see somebody kneel on somebody's neck and he's gonna kill them in front of my eyes. It's not gonna happen in front of me. Like, so this is the saddening thing, and this is what we experience in 2020. We see a lot of this videoing, and not a lot of people trying to help people out. Now, I'm not saying you should help people out for certain things, you know, because certain things could get you killed. Now, I'm not saying you should put your life on the line if you don't believe. Videoing it in that sense, it probably, for you as that individual, is probably the only thing that you would do, because you're probably not brave enough to go and take the law into your own hands or try and stop the officers or do anything like that. But for me as an individual, like, it doesn't matter whether it's black, pink, blue, I'm gonna run over and I'm gonna jump in, whether it's a kick to that officer and try and run off and get bullets in my back. I'm gonna do something. So I'm just asking people out there, like, in future, like, even if you're not about that life, like, just try and intervene. Like, still record so you can see that, you know, you've got your evidence that you're trying to say, look, the man's dying, etc. But try and intervene. Any form of intervention could have probably saved his life. And that created and sparked a lot of riots. Now, a lot of people will say that the rioting was wrong. A lot of people will say the rioting was right. A lot of people's livelihoods got messed up in that rioting. And a lot of people have suffered and are out of pocket because of that. But when we're experiencing stuff like that, like, I'm not saying that the rioting's right, but I kind of sympathize and understand why people would do that. Now, the looters is different. The people who are looting, they're just looting for their gain. They're not on the same thing that the rioters are rioting for, like the injustice, the inequality, the freedom. The looters are looting. The looters need to be dealt with accordingly. If that's what they want to do, that's up to them. But the people who are out there for the right cause, like, you got my backing anyway. You fully got my backing. And there was that video where a young boy, a father, a grandfather was all discussing it on the street, and they're in tears trying to discuss, like, for years we've been beaten, for years we've been going through this to where now we're being killed, and it's being shown on television. Like I can't believe it. And like, even in the mainstream TV and Good Morning Britain, it took for a black individual to come onto Good Morning Britain and say to them, like, you not think it's cool to keep showing this footage? Like, yes, the situations happen, but you repeatedly show the footage over and over and over and over and over again with no remorse. Like, who wants to see that? Like, I didn't want to see it the first time. When I seen it the first time, it horrified me. So what makes you think I want to see that again? But this is part of the programming, and this is the part of what they want us to see, that, you know, it can happen, and it's gonna happen, and nothing can be done about it. So, on George Floyd, R.I.P. George Floyd, R.I.P. Breonna Taylor, R.I.P. to everybody who has lost their life for no reason whatsoever. R.I.P. to them. And the only thing I can say is, in regards to Black Lives Matters, Black Lives Matters that's not really, like, I don't stand for Black Lives Matters. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, if I'm talking about George Floyd, we've got to talk about Black Lives Matters. And Black Lives Matters to me is, honestly, it's bullshit. Like, it's bullshit. If you don't believe me, all I'm gonna say to you is go on their website and read what they're about. Like, Black Lives Matters, like, fuck you. I'm gonna be straight with you. Like, fuck you, Black Lives Matters. Like, you do not stand for anything for black males. Yeah, show me on your website. I'll stand corrected. Anybody who believes can show me wrong, prove me wrong, put it in the comments below, and I'll go and research it. But they do not stand for justice for any form of black males. Yeah, and it says it on their website. It doesn't say it in layman's terms, but if you read between the lines, black males don't get a mention in regards to anything. So Black Lives Matters to me is a load of bullshit. You get what I'm trying to say? Excuse my French, but it's got to be said. It's a load of bullshit, and I'm not going to promote something that I don't believe enhances black lives, or it only wants to enhance a set proportion of black lives. Now, we're not endorsing that. I'm afraid we're not endorsing that for 2020. We're not endorsing that for 2021. And we're not endorsing it ever. Yeah. So I don't know. I prefer somebody to rally back up the Panthers and say Black Panthers. You know what I'm trying to say? Black Panthers in a positive way, not Black Lives Matters, and then you got those indirects on your website. No, we're not having that. So in regards to Black Lives Matters, it is what it is in regards to that. So people can go out there and scream Black Lives Matters all you want, but if you're not looking into it and understanding what they stand for and what they're about, you're not really helping the cause. So all I'm gonna say is, you don't have to take my word for it. Go onto the Black Lives Matters website, read their website, read what they're about, read what they stand for, and then you can make up your own judgment. These videos ain't to change anybody's mind. I'm just giving you my feedback on 2020. And Black Lives Matters was a big thing in around the world for 2020. So we have to talk about Black Lives Matters, and Black lives do matter, but just not that under that umbrella. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like, we're not having it. So Black Lives Matters, bun that out. Yeah, we're not dealing with no Black Lives Matters. R.I.P. George Floyd. And on a final note, in regards to George Floyd, all I would say is, people, in these times now is the time that we need to unite. Yeah, support your brother, support your sister. And I'm talking from all races. Yeah, we don't need to divide anymore. You get what I'm trying to say? We need to build a stronger black community, but we need to build a stronger community. Because if shit hits the fan, yeah, be all and end all, we're gonna need people on from every walk of life to be able to make change. You get what I'm trying to say? We as a black race are not going to make change on our own. We need our white peers, we need our Chinese and our Asian peers as well on board. More heads make more sound, more noise, and it will be a bigger movement in that sense. So unite as a community, as a black community, but unite as a community on a whole as well. R.I.P. George Floyd, R.I.P. to anybody who lost anybody during the riots as well. And shouts going out to everybody who went out and protested as well. I went down to a couple of the protests. Shouts going out to everybody who took time to attend these protests as well, man. Because if we don't attend these protests, you know, the words is just, you know, they've kind of died off now, but it was good at the time, and it still needs to happen on an organized scale, like regularly again once the COVID and everything, once the restrictions are out of place. It's not out of mind, out of sight thing. We can't lose momentum because we've gained a lot of momentum, but we don't just want to lose that now. So once the restrictions and that are out of place, we need some more organized rallies, etc., so we can get out there and let our voice be heard. So 2021, we need more unity within the community. Okay, so I believe it's only right that we discuss this individual in 2020 because he made a big change in 2020. He took on the government in 2020, and that person is Marcus Rashford. Now, Marcus Rashford is a player who plays for Manchester United, Premier League player, young black player, 21 years of age, grew up in Manchester, in one of the poor areas of Manchester, has now made a success of his life. And not only has he made a success of his life on the football field, but he's also been honoured by the Queen for his work in terms of getting school children free school meals throughout the 6 weeks holidays. Now that affected a lot due to the coronavirus period. A lot of people lost their jobs, etc. It affected a lot of families, a lot of underprivileged families who never would have received any form of benefits if it hadn't have been for Marcus Rashford highlighting that the government needs to take a stand and then go and give vouchers out during the 6 weeks holidays due to the pandemic. Now, he took it on, he challenged the MPs refused it, he took it to the Houses of Parliament, and then they agreed, and he was then honoured by the Queen for such a great achievement that he's done for such a great age, because it was something that he experienced as a footballer himself growing up. He had to stay in a house away from home, his home, because obviously the finances wasn't straight in his household, so he's had to stay in a Manchester United household accommodation for him to be able to enable him to be the superstar that he is today. So he hasn't forgot where he's coming from, so it's only right that we highlight Marcus Rashford for his achievement this year in taking on the government and enabling school children and underprivileged families to get vouchers to enable them to eat during the coronavirus period as well. So we've got to take our hats off to Rashford. We got Marcus Rashford for everything that he's done, because there's a lot of celebrities out there, you know, a lot of celebrities who are bigger than Rashford as well, and I would never think to challenge the government in the way that he has. So it's only right that we pay homage to Marcus Rashford and all the great work that he's done, and I hope he continues to carry the flag forward for black people, for underprivileged families within the UK and worldwide. And we can't forget Lewis Hamilton as well. He's been another mogul in 2020. He's now the greatest F1 driver of all time, but he has taken a major stance in regards to black people as a whole within F1. Now, he is a black Formula 1 driver, and most of the time when he goes and he attends these events, these Formula 1 races, he's the only black person there, and he's highlighted it, and he's been campaigning for it all year round. Every campaign, he's got his Black Lives Matter t-shirt on, he's doing the fist, is not stopping. So shouts going out to Lewis Hamilton, because that could have come across negative for him as an individual. He didn't have to do that. He's the greatest F1 driver now of all time, so it could have come with a cost to him. We've seen it affect other people. We've seen what happened to Colin Kaepernick, because remember, Kaepernick took the knee back in how many years ago and was cut from the NFL for that. So for Hamilton to take such a stance in the UK, like I said, it's a monumental moment. Same for Marcus Rashford. So I thought it was only right that we highlight these two gentlemen. It was going to be just Marcus alone, but we can't leave Lewis out. Can't leave Lewis out, no way. We have to highlight the two of them. So big up Marcus Rashford, big up Lewis Hamilton for flying the flag for black people as a whole, underprivileged families within the UK as well. Keep up the great work. Okay then, okay. Let's get into some saga now then, because I know a lot of people just want to hear the saga. We've spoke a lot about what's going on in the world and stuff like. So let's get into some of the drama, some of the celebrity news, some of the stuff that's been happening. And it's been a crazy year for celebrities. There has been There's been topics upon topics that we could discuss, but I've just picked a few that stand out to me and that I'd like to just discuss, man. So we'll kickstart it with the Will and the Jada saga. Like, this just come out of nowhere. Like, there was murmurs, and then all of a sudden we get a red table talk. Will Smith, Jada Pinkett, August Alsina, and basically the long and short of it is Jada and Will must have been having their saga. They must have went their separate ways. This is what they say on the red table tour, that they went their separate ways. And obviously Will's doing his thing and Jada's doing his thing now. Her thing. Now Jada's doing her thing with August. Now August was a good friend to Jaden. He was around the household a lot. So this is how the relationship began. Excuse me. This is how the relationship began. This is how Jada and August got to talking, and then obviously it evolved into a relationship. A relationship as how did she explain it again? Come on, man. The song's named after it, Shades. Bloody hell. The definition of a I can't believe it's gonna drop in my head in a minute. So anyway, August and Jada have had it and they've got it on, and then it's come out in the news now that Jada supposedly cheated on Will with August. Yeah, and then that is what encouraged the red table talk. If you don't know, Jada and Will, I mean, Jada's got her own platform that she uses, a red table talk, where she sits down and she talks real life issues, but this time she brought Will on to discuss the August Alsina issue. And obviously they was discussing the issues, Jada saying her piece, Will saying her piece. And during the video, I ain't gonna lie, when you're watching the video back itself and you're looking at it, you're thinking like, Will does look pissed, like regardless of whether they're both doing their things separately or whatever, Will does look pissed. Later on, they've done another video to release to say that they shot that video late on the night and he was tired and it was about to fly and rare. But there was a load of memes about it. Entanglement, that was it. I knew it would come back to me. Entanglement. Jada said she had an entanglement with August. Yeah. And yeah, a load of memes come out about it, and you know, that was a big saga for 2020. Like Jada and Will, I didn't even know that they split and they went their separate ways, and like Will was doing his thing, she was doing her thing. Like, I didn't even know that. Like, and then to find out that August did that, and then to make things worse, August Alsina and Ricky Rose do a track called Entanglement. Now, if you haven't heard that track, go listen to it, man. Entanglement, that's August's version of it. Ricky Ross throws in his little two-piece on it as well. But that is it, and that was like a crazy, like, Will and Jada, like, relationship goals. People are like, yo, Will and Jada, but when you check it now, it just goes to show that everybody's only human, you know, everybody's only human. Every relationship has its ups and downs, you know. Even though they're celebrities and they've got all the money in the world, they still wasn't happy with each other at that time. But they've made it through it. They've continued to weather the storm after it as well, because obviously this has come after it. Will obviously knew about it prior to it. Well, he says he knew about it. You know, jury's still out, but yeah, and they've weathered it, and they've weathered it, and they've weathered it, and now they're still trying to rebuild where they're at. So big up Will, big up Jada, all the best, you know. Wishing you nothing but happiness, and we hope that everything's all right. But that was a big saga within 2020. Will and Jada and August and entanglement. Crazy entanglement that was. Crazy entanglement. Another crazy saga for 2020 was right a bit closer to home now, dutchavelli saga. Now if you don't know who dutchavelli is Stefflon Don's younger brother. He's had standout hits this year, and he started to make a name for himself within the music scene this year. But a few months ago, Few DMs was sliding around the place, and it more or less stipulated that Dutchavelli had been like, this grooming is a hard word, but in a sense it kind of is grooming. It was kind of grooming a 17-year-old girl, to not to say to even do anything with, but to kind of, you know, it was kind of grooming her to like say, you know, there's potential, and you know, I don't even know. I can't say. I've seen the messages, but like for me personally, I just can't understand. Like, first and foremost, you're in the spotlight. Like, you're Dutchavelli. Like, Dutchavelli on the road right now. I'm sure you can go out there and get any former girls out there. Like, you don't need to be talking to a 17-year-old. Like, I just look at the logistics of it, and then to be talking about emulating pictures that have been taken and, you know, reenacting them pictures, like there's no business of talk. There's not, like, to be talking about those kind of things with a 17-year-old. Like, I don't know. For me personally, like, it's not something that I can promote. It's not something that I can agree with. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, you're Dutchavelli, like, you're a big boy superstar. This girl's, she's not even 18 yet. You know what I'm trying to say? Furthermore, she's your manager's niece or daughter. Now, I'm not saying that the verdict's out. I'm not putting the verdict out and saying like Dutch, you know, was fully grooming her to, you know, handle the biz and rare. But all I'm saying is like just the sheer facts of it. Like, why are you talking to a 17-year-old? Later on, her mother then comes out and says it wasn't in that sense. The families come out and said, like, nah, not really. It kind of wasn't. They're not happy with it. But it was a crazy saga, and it kind of, they then tried to draw other people into it, like draw other artists into it and say this person has been talking to underage, this person has been talking to underage. But the way I see it is, anybody who's talking to underage, like, they're not even underage because they're 16 and they're legal, but like, there's levels to it, innit? Like, there's just levels to certain things. They're not underage, but they're not developed. So you as a grown man shouldn't be looking at that. Like, leave that to the younger bucks that are up and coming at their age. Like, you've got women your age. You can even drop down a couple of years, but you don't have to go so far back. You know what I'm trying to say? You don't have to go so far back. So that's kind of like, was put out there. Like, Dutch received a lot of flack for that. But my main thing is now, like, what's gonna happen now? Like, it's gone quiet since that now. Is everybody gonna forget about it? Like, in 2021, is he gonna come back with hits? Is he gonna start continuing to work with rappers? Like, I wanna see, like, what rappers are now gonna work with Dutchavelli, because, like, not to say, like, everyone should boycott him, but it says a lot about an individual's character. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like, me personally, like, I couldn't work with him knowing that, you know, he did what he did. I couldn't agree with that. I've got children, I've got youths. Like, how can I go out there and work with a man knowing that that's not gonna? So it will be interesting for 2021 to see who, like, and where his career kind of goes from there, and to see how the UK scene embrace it, and what rappers, you know, continue to mess with him and work with him and promote him like that. But all I would say is that, gents, just, you know, double check the age, but you shouldn't really have to double check. Realistically, you can look and see. You know what I'm trying to say? It's not ripe yet. Don't jump on something, it's not ripe yet. And then that's gonna lead me on to talking about a video that was circulated. Everybody wants to see this video within the UK. It was of a man, a grown man. I didn't know his age. I could pull him up. I ain't gonna pull him up and get all his information up, but he basically tried to abduct a schoolgirl. Now, this video horrified me. Like, whoa, like, he's got the girl in the alleyway and he's got her around her neck and he's walking with the girl and that, and the girl is like, she's that scared. Like, somebody's offering her help and she's that scared to even say to her, like, yes, help me please, rare. Like, that's how scared the young lady was. Now, for me, that was horrifying for two reasons. Is like, that could have been anybody's family, like anybody's family. this guy's out here, he's got her around her neck, trying to kidnap her. Now, if the second reason is, what if that woman wasn't there? Like, what if we didn't have, earlier on I was talking about having Samaritans and the George Floyd saga. Now, this woman proved my point. Like, you see, when you've got somebody who will step in, and I mean step in, like, she could have been hurt herself, that woman could have been hurt herself. She's saying, like, no, something's not right here, you get me? She followed the youth and said, yo, what you do with her, you get me? That's what he's saying, it's his sister, and she talked to me, is that, mum, is that the girl? And mom's like, nah, it's not. And she's like, she's not leaving it. You know what I'm trying to say? Anybody could have just said, oh yeah, all right, leave it, and left it, and anything could have happened to that girl. She's not leaving it. She's followed the man until she followed the man, until the man had to run and say, you know what, allow it. You get me? She's got back the girl, and the girl's in tears. Now that's my definition of a Samaritan. Not only is she videoing it, she's stepping in, she's intervening it until the man had to disperse. Later on, his address was put out all over the internet. Everybody knew where it was. There's videos of police sitting outside his house, people about to go to his house, police intercepting it. So the gentleman did get caught for this, and I hope it highlighted a lot of things to a lot of parents out there, that even though our kids are grown in terms of going to secondary school now, they're not adults and they can't defend themselves against adults. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? They're still very much kids in that sense. So we still have to be extra cautious with our kids. Now that was a big video for me for 2020 that like just highlighted parenting as a whole, making sure that your kids reach the school, make sure your kids get back from school, the importance of having a phone, having your kid having a phone to make sure that they've reached the school safe, make sure that they've reached home safe, to be able to interact with them when they're not in your care. So big up the Samaritan, man. Like that woman, like if I knew your name, if I could send you some flowers, or if I could do something for you right now, I would love to, because right now you are one of the biggest Samaritans of 2020, believe me. And you probably don't even know it. A lot of people wouldn't have done what you have done, so hats off to you. And just be aware, people, in 2020, like, we gotta protect our kids. Gots to protect our kids. If one thing 2020 is taught us, keep an eye on your kids, closer to your kids on their phones, etc, etc. Yeah, so definitely keep an eye on your kids for 2020. Another saga then. Let's get into another saga for 2020 now. This saga right here, like, it was a madness. Like, Majahype now. Majahype's my comedian. My comedian, Majahype. I ain't gonna lie, I love Majahype to the bitter bone. Gives me nothing but joke. But we've seen him kinda, you know, kinda up and down off the Richter scale this year, like a couple relationship issues. And then, lo and behold, this year, Majahype was admitted to hospital for having a heart attack. This is what Majahype put up on his social media networks. And then within like about a week or something later, his girlfriend at the time, I believe she's his wife, I believe he married her, is his wife, is not his girlfriend, Kirby. They'd been having some issues for the past how many years. She'd been cheating on him, he'd been cheating on her. But obviously Kirby kind of took it to a level where there was a few tapes out there now. Why, sir? If the man them seen these tapes, like, yo, you know what it is like. Yo, everybody wanted a slice of that mixtape. Like, everybody wanted a cut of that mixtape. Them mixtapes that was surfacing. Kirby was going on with a bag of things, and like, yo, I felt sorry for my general major at the time, but in the same instance, we don't know what's happened in their relationship. We don't know what Major's done, so we can't take sides. And it turns out there was a lot of abuse. Major said that she abused him. He was abused as a kid, and he's gone on there and explained his life story and certain things that happened to him. And then she's gone out and responded and said he's a liar and he's an abuser and he's done this and he's done that. And it got real messy for Majahype, like last year, like, to where a lot of celebrities like Foota Hype, I seen Foota Hype licking out against him, talking about how he faked his heart attack, and you get what I'm saying? It like, and because a lot of the thing was that Major released the sex tapes, and Major put the sex tapes out there of Kirby and these guys. That was the new story, that Major done it. Now, Footer slewed him for that. Footer saying like, yo, that's not on, like, as a man, that's not on, like. And I kind of have to agree with Footer, because at the end of the day, like, you supposedly love this woman. You've got a stepson with this woman who you claim is your own, and you love this son, and you then put out images that could reach this son of hers and reach her family members. And, you know, as a man anyway, that's not something that you do, you get me? Like, if you're gonna do them things, you do it, you watch it, you delete it, or you do whatever. You don't need to post it out in the public domain. More so, it's not you. That's probably why you did it, because you're not featured in it, and because it's her, like, you want to show the world, like, this is who she is and that's what she does. But you knew that that's who she was, because you've seen the videos, you've got the videos, you knew about it. You know what I'm trying to say? You knew about it from prior, way before this. So, I don't know, like, you have to kind of just hold them things in, I suppose. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, they can't be releasing them kind of footages there of your stepson's mother-in-law, and then, you know, it coming like a tit for tat kind of thing. And then the latest thing is now, I don't know what certain of these guys are thinking. Like, Major's my dog, I'm still watching his skits and laughing, but the man's wearing straps on his head. The man's a pirate panty, a panty pirate. Yo, that's what he calls himself. The rest of move up. Yeah, a panty pirate. I want him to. The man's got his, I don't know whose drawers it is, but he's got the drawers on over his head, covering his eye, looking like a pirate. Like, yo, like, I don't know, like, the world just gone mad fruity. Like what joy do you get out of wearing knickers on your head? Like what joy do you get out of wearing a woman's drawers on your head? Fellas, if you get joy out of that, put some comments in there below and let me know, like, what joy do you get out of that? For the life of me, I can't see it. And then there's pictures of him wearing a tongue, like, cheese and peas, like, blood. I don't know what's happening to the world. Like, man will go to the dance and say bad man code and this and that, and then you're wearing tongues on your head and tongues underneath. And no, Major, no. You get a big red flag for 2020. I'm not gonna lie. Still, Major. Yeah, I'm a general still. We still I go watch the skit them and catch two joke, and the rest bun him out right there and say, yo, you're a panty pirate. The rest of my real article, we loose off a Major. And the rest we say. You see me? So Major get a big L for 2020, I'm not gonna lie. But we'll see, man. In the coming weeks, we'll see what happens with it, man. Like, the latest one, as I said, is the panty thing that's come out. Will there be more for 2021? Will it be left now in 2020? Who knows? But Major, let's not see that for 2021. Yeah, let's try and tone it down for 2021. All right. So as we said, 2020 has been crazy. It was another crazy year for Jack here as well. Now, Major was on a crazy thing, but Jack here, like, Major saga coming over took Jakir saga, but the Jakir saga was a madness. Like, Jakir had some ladies in his yard, some American ladies who'd been talking to and linking, and he got them back at his house. And basically there was a video out where he's basically running the girls out of his yard. He's telling the ladies like, yo, and if you come out of my house, yo, you feel like, yo, the video's about, you have to go out there and watch the video and see what Kier's keeping up a bag of things. Like, he's locked the girl in the yard talking about he should broke her fingers, he should do this and he should do that. Like, and it's like crazy, man. Like, I don't understand how these so-called artists are getting themselves into problems with these women. Like, yo, Jakir, like, you're supposed to be able to scoop up any woman again. You're not supposed to be paying women like that, cause the women are saying like, yo, the man saying, yo, it's supposed to run front. This is what the man's saying, like, yo, man, the man don't feel like the celebrity thing, I don't know. It's like the celebrity thing must guarantee, say, yo, you're getting that. The celebrity thing don't guarantee that, you know. And you can't expect that of no woman, you understand? Regardless, if you're paying for it, then you're paying for it. Do you understand? That's your business. You get what I'm trying to say? But for you to expect a thing off of somebody because of who you are, yo, them things don't work in a real life now. Jakir, the woman's come out after now. After you see the video, he's telling her to pack up his stuff, come out the yard. He wants back all his money. The best run back the money else. He's broken them up. He's doing this, he's doing that. And then the woman's gone out, and then she's aired her side of it. How Jakir's talking about he wants batty wash, and you get me, he's preeing the next friend, but he's preeing this friend more. And this friend was gonna run it on him just to get them out the yard because he was that scared. And the other friend's like, nah, yeah. Like, it was a craziness, man. Like, but the be all and end all is it, why is a man like Jakir, of Jakir's status, even trying to buy something like that? Like the man them need to give me the title Jakir, just the name. I don't want Jakir. Like, just give me the name and I'll show you how you could go out there and get girl like that, brother. Like, I don't understand it for the life of me. And like, even if you wanted all them freaky stuff, like, this is 2020, 2021. The people out there doing crazy madness. Yo, Jakir, like, it's crazy. It's crazy. But I want to see no Rasta man playing Jakir for 2021, you know. Straight up. Any Rasta man I see nothing there, Rasta or bouncing to kill and firing you. You understand? No Rasta for you talk about batty wash and them thing there. No Rasta for you run down girl and talk about lick them up. If them don't run this and do certain thing. No, sir. No. That can't work. So I don't want to see no Rasta man bouncing to Cure, no dance for 2021. Cure forget Bonner. This is the second incident with Cure, you know. Cure told the selector them to suck their mother, you know. Differently. You get me? And I'm a selector as well, so that you kind of had two strikes now, you know. The selector suck your mother thing was one. This one now is a big red flag. So we're giving Cure a red flag for 2021. And I want to say, no, not it. No, not it. And not them head to Cure in 2021. As me I got feel say, you're free, Kiras. You overstand the levels. Alright. Okay, so let's get into the last saga of 2020. And it's got to go to UK-based artist Chip. Yeah, man. Chip lit up 2020 with two, not one, you know, two solid diss tracks aimed at Stormzy's forehead, straight to his forehead. Chip went in after Stormzy went to Chip's house for whatever reason. Chip said he was moist on the track. Whatever reason, Stormzy went to Chip's house. Chip's girlfriend, auntie, sister, whoever it was, recorded Stormzy at the door. That then ignited the fire within Chip to go in the booth, head back down to the Shell petrol station as he does, and light Stormzy up away with not only one but two furious diss tracks. And like, there's levels to those tracks right there, real levels. And 2020 has now finished and we haven't heard anything from Stormzy. So what does this mean for Stormzy for 2021? He's been claiming he's the king of grime, didn't respond to Chip. He dealt with Wiley Wicked in 2020. He dealt with Wiley Wicked in 2020, but when a young up-and-coming MC, hungry, jabbing at him, knife to the throat, can't hear nothing back from Stormzy. Still waiting for Stormzy's response. So I want to know what Stormzy's career is going to look like for 2021. Are people still rating Stormzy? Are you still rating Stormzy? What do you think of Stormzy for 2020? Is he still the hardest? For me personally, he didn't respond to Chip. He did not respond. Now I'm still waiting. I'll take a diss track tomorrow. Like, bring the track, Stormzy. Like, if not, you can't claim to be the hardest. You can't really claim to be the hardest. You dismantled Wiley, okay. Wiley was my boss. You dismantled him, okay, fair. Ain't no loving war. You dismantled him. But Chip stepped forward now. We can't hear nothing from Stormzy, so we will wait, man. We will wait into 2021. As soon as he does respond, if we do get it, you'll get that info right here. So I want to say thanks for taking time out to watch this video today. Look out for more entertainment report. Look out for Real Talk with Shades. Gonna be launching each and every week, hopefully. Yeah, hopefully right here. and shadesentertainment.co.uk. Shades Entertainment under YouTube, Shades Entertainment under Facebook, all that good stuff. Yeah, so hit us up, click the links below, subscribe to the channel, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Mixcloud, all that good stuff, and share the video. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.